Hey everyone, good morning and welcome back to POA for you. Today we're doing the next installment of O Levels 2020 Paper 2 Question 1. Again, super important question, and I've done in the earlier installment the three steps to make sure that it helps you answer your question part A and part B of this seamlessly. And I'm going to show you how with those three steps I'm going to do just that. Now, if you find that a friend of yours could benefit from this video, please share it with them. This is a free resource for everyone to use, right? And I want to make sure that everyone knows about that as well. And of course, if there's any questions, you guys can always reach me at poa4you@gmail.com. The email address is always on the top left of the sheets that I work with, or just write to me in this channel. Okay, so without further ado, let me just go through the next part of this question. So the first deliverable is the income statement, which in 2021 syllabus onwards, it's called the statement of financial performance, right? So once we did these three steps, and if you haven't watched the earlier video on these three steps, please go and watch the earlier installment of this video. And I'm going to assume that you did, and I'm going to copy my P&L format. And then I'm going to paste it here for easy references, right? So we have a statement of financial performance for this company, and we're going to start with, it's a trading company, so we're going to start with sales, right? Sales revenues. It's always sales revenues as a starting point for these kind of stuff, and we're going to put the original number because there's no new number here, and then we're going to less sales returns, right? So this is a standard format, so make sure you're familiarized with that. Sales returns 18015. So after doing these two, I'm going to just cross it out, okay? Then I'm going to less cost of sales, all right? COGS. I'm just going to put an abbreviation there. Sorry, before I less cost of sales, this number is net sales revenues, all right? Then less cost of sales. How much is cost of sales? 226930. So I'm crossing this out as I transfer it to the statements, because then I know I don't have to worry about them anymore. And this sales, net sales less cost of sales is a number here. It's called gross profits, right? Then we go and less expenses, because there's no other income, right? Because usually you will add other income, but in this list there's no other income here, so less expenses. Whoop, yep. And then the first one we have wages and salaries. I'm going to abbreviate it. Wages and salaries, no new number, so I'll take the original number. And then we have rent. We have a new number for rent, 38,400. I'm going to put the workings for this here as well, because your examiners would want you to have the workings there. And then you have general expense. What's the new number? Okay, I'm going to put the workings here as well. Put a bracket here, and then I'm going to put the number 20870. And then the next one is selling expense, and I'm abbreviating this. Of course, in your exams, don't do that. I'm just doing it so that you don't have to watch me type too many things, right? And then I'm going to put here 8225. Okay, so I'm going to tick off all these because I transferred this. So everything in here that's part A has been transferred, so that's fine. Now let's look at step 2 and see whether there's anything that's part A that I need to transfer. So there are a few things, right? Depreciation and impairment losses. So I'm going to put just that. Depreciation for equipment and depreciation for MV. And how much are those respectively? 3, 4, 500 and 7, 6. And I'm going to mark this out as well. Cross this out. Then I'm going to go to impairment loss. Now notice this impairment loss is credit, yeah? So you got to reflect that as well. Impairment loss on trade receivables, it's credit, and expenses are debit in nature. So if it's credit, you got to put a negative 235, which is the number. And the last one, so I'm going to cross that out. The last one, which I'm going to transfer, is impairment loss on inventory, which is 1990. Okay, and then this is 1990, and that's it. So in our P&L, or excuse me, the statement of financial performance, you have a eventual loss for the year of 3580 because the gross profits is less than all the other expenses, right? And that's how we kind of figure the performance of the company for this year is a loss. They did this amount of revenues, blah blah blah, but ultimately it was loss, and it'd be useful to compare against previous years or across different companies in the same industry to see how this company is really doing. That's kind of what the statement of financial performance does. Now, having done this, let's take a look at the statement of financial position. So I'm going to cut this across, I'm going to paste this below, and I'm going to say that this loss for the year will go into B, right? Because this is actually an item that will go into the equity section of the statement of financial position. So I'm going to cut the statement of financial position format and put it up so that it's easy for us to compare it with the question. Okay, so I'm going to, before I cut this, I'm going to actually insert this thing, down. Okay. Excuse me, just give me 1 second. Let me just adjust this format and then I will paste this. Oops. Okay, I'm going to cut this format here. Alright, and the format is something that you guys need to get familiarized with as well, and it's available in your syllabus outline on the format for this, right? I'm going to just move this down here because it's like that. Okay, so now format issues are all done. You just transfer one by one. Equipment being non-current first, because non-current assets come first in the financial statements. And there we have it. So there's a new number, 345, 123. Then we have accumulated depreciation, so I'm going to mark this out. Accumulated depreciation equipment, I'm going to mark that as well. And there's a new number, 205, right? Okay, because you can't use this number, there's a new number here. Motor vehicle, there's no new number on cost, so 57500. Accumulated depreciation is there's a new number here, 28060. Right, so I'm going to tick that off. Now, so accumulated depreciation is done. Next, current assets. First one on the list, trade receivables. Trade receivables, the original number is 43950. I know I have an allowance because that comes after that, so I'm going to take that off as well. I'm going to bring it allowance for impairment of TR, and this is not 1220 here. I got a new number here, 985, so I'm going to bring 985 here. I'm going to put my workings here, 985. I'm going to put my workings here when I can, right? And then the next current asset, cash at bank. Usually it's a current asset, but in this case, because it's credit balance, so it's a bank overdraft. Here I have inventory. I have a new number. The new number is 33310. Not 20, but 10. Okay, and I'm going to put my workings here as well. And then the next one, I have any more, so I'm going to cross this out. Oops, cross this out. And any more here? None here. Let's look at the workings on the journal entry step 2. We've got prepaid rent, right? It's 9600. I'm going to cross this out. I'm going to put it here. Oops. Then I'm going to take this prepaid rent 9600, and that's it. Okay, then I'm going to go into the other stuff. Trade receivables, I actually did this. Okay, trade payables, shareholders equity first, right? So we're going to say I believe it's share capital, 150,000 ordinary shares. Okay, and this is 1500. Okay, 150,000. Cross that out, and then we have retained earnings. Okay, and there's a working behind this. 4600, right, is this original amount here, right? And I'm going to cross that out as well. Then I'm going to less dividends, right, of 5,000, and then I'm going to less the losses that I see at the bottom of 3850. So I'm going to cross this out as well, 3580, I beg your pardon. So I've got a total of I'm going to take this, and this would become 32020, right? And that's my equity shareholders equity section. Non-current liabilities, I have something here because I have a bank loan, and my bank loan would be long-term borrowings. All right, and then I'm going to put this as 30,000. No, I'm going to put it here. And then like current liabilities, then I'm going to take this off as well. Current liabilities, what do I have? Trade payables. Yep, I see that there. It's 34025. I have bank overdraft, and how much is that? 8700. I'm going to tick those off as well. I'm going to tick those off. So everything is ticked off on my trial balance. That's done. Double check, yes, all done. And let's look at the journal entries in step 2. So I have GE payables, and that's 570, and I'm going to tick that off too. And any other things in journal entries part, everything's ticked off. Yes, ticked off. And my P&L, my loss and profits have been transferred as well to equities. So everything is done, and my balance sheet is completed, balanced. Okay, so this is all done. You see, it took us quite little time to just transfer whatever that we've done in the workings to the statement of financial position or statement of financial performance. So that first 3 steps of working is very, very important. Now, I would advise you to redo this. If you don't get to the same conclusion, relook at this video and understand why. And if you have any questions, post the questions on this channel, or email me at poa4u@gmail.com. My email address is always on the top left hand corner of this video. The documents that I use to help with these videos. If you think a friend can benefit from this, please share it with them. It's a free resource for everybody, and the more you can reach, the better for everybody. And if you like this video, put a thumbs up, subscribe to the video if you want to see new content as they come around, and otherwise, take care, good luck. Hope this helps. Thank you.